Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pilot. Cookie Pilot. I gotta change my name. I hope y'all are having a good one today. Or tonight. Grab a water real quick. Tonight I'm gonna be testing the Cirrus SR22 Turbo. One of my favorite single-engine airplanes. This goes a little bit faster than the Diamond that we flew yesterday. Cruise at 170 knots, true airspeed. What we were doing in the Diamond was about 140, I think. Actually, scroll down and find it here. Diamond DA40, 136 true. Okay, yeah, so a little bit faster. Probably cut the flight time down. Would be an hour flight, would now be cut down probably into about 47, 48 minutes if I had to take a guess. Just rough math. You don't have quite the, Oh, actually, yeah, you do. Actually do have about the same range. I was thinking it would be a little less, because this burns more fuel. But it goes faster. Probably just bigger tanks. The really cool thing, this plane will cruise at 25,000 feet. We're not going to go that high. Let's pull the Cirrus. Yeah, let's do that one. Weight and balance. 23 gallons of fuel. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to pull the Sky Vector chart, skyvector.com. It's got all the sectional charts for VFR. I'll actually pull the window up onto here. So this is where we're going to be looking at. These are the airports. We're going to be flying in the Marquesas Islands. So you can pull VFR charts, IFR charts. You can get airport diagrams, all sorts of cool stuff on there. I don't remember what the fuel burn on this plane on average is. I'm sure we'll be able to find it. We need airports. NTMD. So we're going to be starting somewhere back here. Start at ramp 4. Set as departure. We're going to be going down here. At Tuona Airport. It's going to be our arrival. 54 minutes. 100 nautical miles. Switch to VFR. I wonder how it's calculating that, because it's 170 in cruise. It will probably take less. We'll actually have to fly out a little bit, probably up and over some of the mountains and around and in. Flight conditions, live players. We'll keep the air traffic off. Live weather. Looks decent enough to me. Let's go back in Cirrus. Failures keep everything turned off. I'll pick a tail number here. Append heavy. If anybody calls the Cirrus SR22 heavy. Alright, so I think I'm good with that there. Do a cold start. In the fuel box, no. Do ramp GA. It's actually that there. Runway 20, I think we're going to be coming into runway 2. Is where we're going to be arriving. There's no air traffic control out here. It's all uncontrolled airspace. I think we're ready to go. check flight control surfaces here. I'm gonna try to follow the checklists as much as possible. If they're filled out. It's an important note. So here's where we're starting. It's like an interesting kind of setup. Alright. So these are the Marquesas Islands, part of French Polynesia. They're the northernmost, which means they're the closest to the equator. Because all of French Polynesia is in the southern hemisphere. Could probably pull the flight plan up. Let's take a look at checklists. Yes, we have them. Alright. Not gonna really worry about the, we could do the pre-flight inspection, you know what? We have our required documents. Avionics power switch is off. Battery to master. Not really sure where all of these are. Here's the cool thing. It's the G3X in the Cirrus. This is like the G1000, except it's even better. Alright, documents are okay.
Required documents.
I don't want to read all of these out.
Avionics power switch. Off.
It's off.
VAT2 master switch. On. PFD.
Yep, it's coming on. I know I want to make that noise go away. Turn the voices off. Okay. Back into. Alright, verify the PFD is on. Yeah, it's good. Essential bus voltage. Where do we look for that? 25.8, it's a little bit high. Probably will come down here in a moment. Flat position light. Yep. Pilot processing. Battery master switch. Comes on. Avionics cooling fan. Yep. I hear it. Windshield. Push button. Alright, come on now. We just pressed it, so what's it, Force finish. I don't know what's going on with that. Is that bugged? Not sure what's going on there. Activate de-icing for 5 seconds. Alright, not really sure why that's not going right. Pump backup switch. It's off. Ice protect on. Anti-ice speed. It's good. Okay, now high. Ice inspection lights. That's if we're going to be flying in any icing. I don't think we're going to be doing that. The pitot heat switch on 45 seconds and then back off. This is just making sure all our systems are working properly inside the cockpit in case we enter any sort of adverse conditions such as icing. Oh, I like this. This actually shows the V-speeds marked out. It's really important. V-speeds are the certain airspeeds what you're supposed to do certain things. Y is your best rate of climb. It means you're going to get the most altitude in the shortest amount of time. G is glide speed. In case we lose an engine, this is the speed we get for our best glide. X is altitude. For the best angle. This means highest amount of altitude in the shortest lateral distance. And R is rotate. We rotate at 77. What rotate means is you pull the nose back and pull the stick back, let the nose come up off the ground, get yourself into takeoff position. That's been on for 45 seconds. We'll turn it back off. Tick. Alright, check lights. Don't see too well. Let's turn them all on. Ice light, yeah, we'll keep that on real quick. And let's just take a look outside the aircraft. Landing lights good. Nav lights are on. Strobe lights are on. We're good to go. Back into the cockpit view. Alright. Actually keep that on. Ice lights. Okay, we're good there. Stall warning. I don't know really exactly how we're supposed to test that. Lights are good. Apply suction to the stall warning system inlet, noting the warning horn sounds. Well, I don't really know how you would test that in this. We'll assume that it works. That's something that we test in real life, is make sure the stall warning works. Fuel quantity. 46 gallons usable. Left, right tanks. Alright, fuel, we have half tanks. That'll be plenty enough to get us where we need to go. Fuel selector, fullest tank. Well, they're both the same, so we're good there. Flaps 100%. Make sure they work. Yep, flaps are down. That's good. Battery 1 and 2 master switch. They're off. Alternate static source. CLT. Set to normal. Circuit breakers are in. We don't have any that are out. All down here at the bottom. Everything looks good. Fire extinguisher charged and available. We need to see where that is. Right there. Charged. Available. We're good. Emergency egress hammer to smash the glass. Let's hope we don't need it. Actually, not really sure where that's located in this plane. I'm certain that we have it on here somewhere. We'll go ahead and call it good for now. HAPS handle pin removed. HAPS handle's up top, I'm pretty sure. Parachute inoperative. Page is okay. Let's go ahead and get the engine started up. Pre-flight is complete. Yes, we're good there. Weight and balance, we're good. Emergency equipment on board, we're good. We have no passengers. Seatbelts, seats, and harnesses adjusted, secured, we're good. And caps is set, passenger briefing we've already done. So we're good. Alright, start engine. I don't really know what counts as cold or hot weather, but we're going to go ahead and do the normal. Alright, let's check our parking brake is on. Okay, external power, we don't need it. Alright. Brakes are good. Zoom in, battery master switch. We're on. Strobe lights on. Mixture full rich. That's this right here. Power lever forward. Alright, fuel pump. Where is the fuel pump? Boost. That's all icing. Are they down here? Yeah, okay. Alright, pull the throttle back just about. %, there. Alright, propeller area clear, throttle, 1/4 inch, ignition switch, start. Clear. Alright. Engine is started. Mixture adjust. We'll keep the mixture full rich while we're taxiing on the ground. Power level retard, which basically means pull it to idle. Check our alternator switches here. Let's go ahead and get that. Check our oil pressure. We're in the green. Alt 1 and 2, come on. Should bring the MFD up in a second here. Avionics power switch. I think that's actually what brings it up. Yep. Alright, we're looking good there. Engine parameters. 8%. Things in the green. Excuse me. Now I can close that out. Tell me to update iTunes after my flight. Alright, all the engine instruments look good. External power we didn't have connected. Amp meter. You want it just a little bit positive. That's a good sign. Alright, page complete. Weather started. Ground operation. We don't need to do that. Port taxi. Flaps up. Radios and avionics, we don't really need those right now. We'll go ahead and switch the tank to the right. We just have to flip that every few minutes. Alright, those are good. I'll just simulate some radio calls for the heck of it. It's some good practice for some Okay. Alright, taxi checklist, the parking brake, let's disengage it. And we should be good to roll here. Any second. Check our brakes here. Alright. Brakes work. I'm not going in the grass, trying to taxi out of this ramp. I have nose wheel steering on this plane, I do, yeah. Alright. Steer on the ground, joystick slider. Okay. So we are going to... I think we're going to take off runway... You know what, I think we can go runway 6. So there's a very light tailwind, so we're okay. Alright. Let's just look and see. Clear left, clear right. No, you know what, we'll go to 2-4, because it's right here. We're not going to taxi all the way back there. Alright, so we'll come out on the runway. Throttle back, our airspeed's a little high. So again, you really don't need much power to taxi this thing. And we'll kind of just angle right here for a minute. Right. Set the parking brake. We do a run up here. Alright, before takeoff we need to do a quick icing state. Probably okay. Doors are latched, caps been removed. Alright, yep, icing we're good. Manifold pressure. Should have cautions. I think we're okay there. Doors are latched, closed. Seat belts as desired on the air conditioner. Fuel quantity we're good. Fuel selector fullest tank. They're about the same, so we're good there. Fuel pump is at boost. Mixture full rich. 50% in check on the flaps. Let's drop those. Transponder, not really worried about that right now. Navigation and radios, I'm not sure why this isn't coming on. It's just taking a moment. Oh no, that's nice. That's the checklists and stuff. Now we have our navigation. It's just a matter of the startup screen. It doesn't clear automatically. Some planes, I think it does. This is a different flight system thing. Autopilot check. Not going to set the autopilot at the moment. Nav radio set, cabin heat, don't need it. Brakes, hold. Power lever, we're going to come up to 1700 RPM on the power. Just a tiny bit there. Alternator checks. Yep, looks good. Pitot heat on. Nav lights on. Landing light on. Annunciator lights were looking good. Voltage is looking good. Pitot heat. We can turn it back down. Off. Nav lights are good, landing lights. We'll go ahead and keep them on since we're on the runway. Magneto checks. Check left and right, you don't want it to fall too much. It's on both. We'll turn it to the left. And we have a drop in RPM. Not quite 100. Back to both. Should come back up. Bump the throttle just a tiny bit over to right. And a little bit of a drop, we're good. Back to both. Engine parameters are good. Power back down to 1000 RPM. It's basically power idle. Not quite. Alright, right about there. Flight instruments look good. Flight controls free and correct. What we do on those is we'll just check. Trim set takeoff. We'll keep the flaps down. Checklist to be power, engine parameters, rotate elevator, flaps up, and fuel pump. We'll check. Alright, real quick, let's take a look. Yep, flaps are set. Flight controls. Ailerons look good. Check our flight controls on the tail. Full elevator. Usually just kind of doing a box. Full down. Rudder looks good. Ailerons look good. Alright, flight controls are good. Let's go ahead and get back into position. And we will minimize the checklist for now. Alright. Just a little bit of a boost on that. Parking brake we need to release. Taxi. Let's just get lined up on the runway here. And alright, we're rolling, and here we go. Full power. Alright, airspeed's alive, engine instruments are green. Need some rudder on this here. Come on. Keep coming. Alright, VR rotates 77 knots. Up we go, come on. Alright, and we are up, positive rate. We're gonna climb out 100, about 105 VY. Alright, come on. Easy up. Little bit of turbulence there. Alright, bring the flaps up. Let's go ahead and start a left-hand turn here. Just a gentle turn to the left. And that's about the course that we're going to be going to intercept. Take a look there. There's the airport we just took off. This is Nuku Hiva Island. It's the largest Marquesas. It's also the most populated of the Marquesas. Only 6 of the 12 or 13 islands are inhabited. Could set a little bit of a climb here. Let's keep coming up there on the Alright, we're pitched pretty good. We're climbing out. We're going to go up a fair bit. Alright, let's go ahead and do this here.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright. Let's just go ahead and intercept our course. And we will set an altitude. I think we're going to cruise somewhere around like... Let's cruise at... Let's cruise at 11,000 feet. We're actually gaining pretty well. Let's go ahead and hit nav. We'll intercept our track. Should. Maybe not. We're flying through it a little bit here. We're not really climbing either. So right now I'm just going to fly kind of by instruments here. Now look at those cliffs. Ha! It's got to be quite a sight. Let's keep a right turn going. We also need to pick our altitude up a little bit. We do have some terrain to contend with. We'll climb over that, shouldn't be a problem. We also can kind of kick our climb up a little bit here. It is bumpy over here, though. It's definitely a bit bumpy. Alright, we flew through our course a little bit here. Once we get above this mountain ridge, I think it'll smooth out. Some, I hope. Alright, let's keep that held. Let's just keep our airspeed. Ooh. Golly. We're really fighting the controls on this.
Engaging autopilot. Engaging autopilot.
The autopilot doesn't want to engage for whatever reason. Keep climbing.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, let's slow our vertical speed down. Let's just keep it at a good about 1,000 feet per minute. We could actually bring it up. Let's go to 1,500. Our altitude is set for 11,000. So we'll actually select that. It'll climb to 11. Let's go ahead and hit nav. We should intercept our course. Maybe not. Maybe. Not really sure why. Alright. So let's just take a look at our surroundings real quick. Here's the island. Behind us is going to be the airport. Take a look down real quick. Alright, we are climbing, but we're not on course, so we need to just roll the airplane just a little bit. But let's get back on course here. If anything, we'll set the heading and just kind of, even if we don't intercept the track, we'll get to it. We're going to be pointed out toward the island. Out in the middle. And in just a second, we'll get a better view of where we're going here. Alright, let's roll to just intercept that here. Alright. Alright. While we're climbing, we should be... I don't know, it doesn't want to really track the... Doesn't want to pick up the GPS course for whatever reason here. Alright, we'll take a look at that in a second here. Alright. So off our wing here, we'll actually, maybe we'll switch seats. Let's take a look outside. Okay. So we're going toward this island out here in the background. It's a little bit tough to see because it's far out on the horizon, but that's our final destination. Is the island of Hiva. It's the second largest island in the Marquesas. We have these two islands kind of in between. And if you just take a look down here, we're just passing over the last of Nuku Hiva. Airport's at the back of the island over here. This is the largest city, or, well, not much of a city, but town on Nuku Hiva Island. We're climbing up 10,000 feet. We're going to be leveling off here at about 11,000 in a moment. In fact, let's go ahead and get back in cockpit view. And we'll reduce our vertical speed to 500 feet per minute. Or we'll cut it in half, 700 feet per minute. It's fine. Alright, we are a little bit off course, so let's go ahead and make a gentle left-hand turn. And we'll just fly parallel to the pink line of the GPS, because we're actually going to have to set up for a approach course. I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and level the wings. And now we're just going to hold the level. Right, let's check our checklist here. We completed all of that. We're not doing short field power. Oxygen. Let's go ahead and don't need oxygen. Power levers, full forward, isn't climb. Maintain fuel flow. Come back on the mixture just a little bit. What we'll look at is for the fuel flow to be reduced a little bit. See, this burns a lot right now. Kind of lower that. Flaps are up. Airspeed 120. We're in cruise, so we're going to come back on the power. This does burn a lot of fuel. Engine parameters are all looking good. Alright. Cruise climb. Alright, we're in cruise. Cruise altitude is established. Power reduced to 30.5 inches. Just a tiny bit come down on the power. It's constant speed prop. Fuel pump is as required. That should also help on that a little bit there. Alright. Alright, those are all looking pretty good there. We're not in any icing conditions here, so we've got a fair ways to go before we get to anywhere for a descent. Now we're out over the water, so we have time to... What in the world? This mouse is kind of just being buggy. Alright, let's get back in the regular seat. Descent checklist, we'll get to that when we start our initial descent into Hiva, and we're pointed right toward the island. Let's get another view. This, I believe, is Wahuka or Wapou, one of the two. Pull up our chart. We've got a fair ways to go. Probably another 50. Yeah, maybe not that far. This is a really pretty area. We're in something that would fly a bit faster. A fighter jet or something like that. But then it's, you know, part of it is just the cruise. You know, kind of just relax and set the cruise. This, in fact, we'll take a look here. We'll burn 28 gallons. Oh, actually, just about 20 minutes en route. It's not bad. So we'll be on the ground probably about 25. Exit icing conditions. We're not in any icing. We're actually doing really well on the cruise. 187 true, 193 on the ground. So we have a very slight tailwind, which is nice. Let's take a look at our chart. So here's our VFR map. We're at an IFR altitude, but I don't care enough to do the 500. So we are... So this is Uapo to the off our right wing, and Uahuka off our left wing. A couple really small uninhabited islands up here. And Hiva is down here, and this is the further south one. Doesn't have an airport. About a third of the way. If we take a look at the chart coming in, this is the airport. The runway goes kind of like this. So what we're going to do is turn out this way, and we'll actually fly like over the bay and come in and land on runway 2. We're going to get a really neat view of what's out there. What we could actually do is change... on that. Doesn't look like we have any rain to worry about. We don't have any ATC to worry about today. Could set a direct. Oh no, here it is. Okay. I like to kind of zoom that in on me when I was trying to scroll the wheel. I need to set these controls. It's configured a little bit better. Excuse me. do a view reset. So yeah, we're coming up on, this is Hiva Oa. You can start to see it a little better here. This here is Tahuata. That's the islands we're going to be kind of turning in between when we come in to line up for final approach to land. And in the very back, you can just barely see. It's a super clear day. That is Fatu Hiva, which is the southernmost of the Marquesas Islands. It is inhabited, but it is, I believe, the least populated of all of them. And it has no airport. So people actually have to fly into Hiva Oa and get on a boat. Nice to know. Thank you for that. Alright, let's take a look outside. Right off our wing there is Uahuka. Not much going on over there. And there's Uapo off our right wing. And Nuku Hiva behind us. A beautiful view. Cruising at, still doing 193 across the ground. Fuel imbalance. Alright, so what we need to do is, come on. Turn boost. So we just switch. I'm not prime, off. Okay. Alright, yeah, I've got a bit of a fuel imbalance. It'll be corrected. So we are heading slightly off course, and that's because we can set ourselves up for a better final approach that way. Alright, let's go back into the checklist, but we're not going to look at the checklist itself. We're actually going to go up to our normal operation airspeeds, and I can explain a few of these. Let's back up to our regular view. That's a good view right there. Alright, so you take off, it should 50%, it's 77 knots as a rotate. 103 for best rate of climb, 85 for best angle, that's what we talked about. A normal full power cruise climb is 120 knots. That's kind of best for efficiency for air, so the engine can breathe, but that you're also maintaining a good rate of climb. Cruise can do just about anything up here. Landing. Flaps up. 95, roughly. Flaps down. About 80. Short field. I think this runway is not too short, but we'll set it about 80 to 85. 79 if you're doing a full short. Full power and 80 knots to climb out. Want to go around. 21 knots for the crosswind. Turbulent air penetration. Between 123 and 140 depending on the aircraft weight. What that means is when you're going through anything beyond light turbulence, you need to slow the airplane's indicated airspeed down. Right now we're indicated about 152. We would slow that down to about let's see, our current weight, we're about halfway loaded, so we'd probably be going down to about 127, 128. And what that does is it'll allow us to fly the airplane through moderate turbulence or worse and not have any sort of stress G-loading on the airframe that could cause any sort of structural damage. Anti-ice. Okay, 177. Holding speed, yeah, 120. Just kind of want to take a look at some of our oxygen, altimeter, don't worry about, landing light. Keep the lights on. I know I'm kind of fudging my way through some of these. Seatbelts, boost on the fuel pump, full rich mixture when we get low, which would be probably to about 4,000 feet. We're not going to have any icing. We're not too far out. We're only about 25 miles from the island. Looking pretty good. Mixture full rich. Flaps will drop to 50% when we get turned on to kind of lining up base leg. Turn the autopilot off on short final. Flaps 100%, airspeed, power lever, brakes, we'll do our normal checks. Bogged landing, in the case that we have to go around, what we do, we turn the autopilot off, power full forward, flaps up to 50, we pitch up to 85 knots, and then bring the flaps all the way up. And then we do that after we touch down and slow down on the runway. We're getting relatively close to top of descent. We have a little bit of time here. And it just brings the wings right back level. That's actually really cool. Seems really low, I'm not really sure why. Alright, we're gonna start our descent here in just a moment. Take a quick step away. Okay. Take a look back over here at the autopilot. Just a second here. Instead of following a nav, I kind of want to try to set a heading. So we're going to try to set up roughly... Yeah, let's set up a 105 heading. We'll actually set to turn to that, and we can go ahead and begin our descent. Alright, oxygen required, altimeter is set, cabin heat we don't need to worry about, landing light is on, fuel system is good, power lever we're going to come back, and we'll leave the mixture as it is. Alright, let's go ahead and drop our altitude down to about 4,000. Come on down. Alright, the autopilot's disengaged. Let's come back on the power a little more. I'm not sure why this isn't... This just is not trimmed. That's the other thing I need to do, is program the trim settings on this. When you hand fly the plane, having the trim is really important. With the autopilot, it takes care of itself. Alright, but what we'll do...
Engaging autopilot.
No, it didn't want to engage. Set the heading.
Engaging autopilot.
Come on! Vertical speed. Let's...
Engaging autopilot. Engaging autopilot.
Yeah, see, we're already a bit too high for this. We're just not really losing altitude much. Alright. Well, we can turn that.
Engaging autopilot.
It still doesn't... Why?
Engaging autopilot.
I don't know why it still doesn't want to... Vertical speed.
Engaging autopilot.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Some of these autopilots in these GA airplanes can be really finicky. So we're just going to hand fly it. I'm going to pull the power out, pitch down. We could even, when our airspeed drops low enough, we can actually do ahead and set flaps in. So this is Hiva. Can't really see the airfield great right now. The island that is right in front of us is Tahuata, and this is the little pass that we're gonna fly between, and then we're gonna turn over the bay, and we're gonna have a really pretty approach coming in. The Little Rock Island directly in front of our nose, further out, is the Little Rock Island of Motane. And Fatu Hiva is all the way in the back. Alright, let's see if we can get this to cooperate again. Vertical speed on.
Engaging autopilot.
Well, this time it looks like it actually... Yeah, it has. So this time it actually wants to cooperate. How nice. 2,000 feet per minute is probably a little bit too fast. I'll get 1,500. And we're idle power. Let's take a look at our flaps. And we may have some sort of limitations for the flap speeds, because you don't want to overspeed them. Oh, no. 150, yeah, so we're actually okay to put those down. It's 110 to do full flaps. And we're actually just barely over that. Once we level off, kind of slow our descent. So there's the airport. And there's the bay. It's 63 degrees here at 7,000 feet. Alright, let's just real quick pull our checklist back up. Alright, before landing, let's go ahead and go mixture full rich. We have our 50% flaps. We could actually lower our rate, kind of bleed some airspeed off. But no, I think with 50 we're okay right now. Yep, there's the airfield. Let's go ahead and do a very gentle... Just a very gentle turn. Zero 90. Let's reduce our vertical speed. We'll add a little power. And we actually overshot final a little bit here. So this is what we're gonna do. Just set to intercept. And now we'll just let the airplane turn itself for us. And then we'll just roll out on the proper heading here. But we're going to stay at 4,000 feet for a few minutes. Until we just get kind of realigned. Anti-ice speed, we're fine. Add a little power. Let's go ahead and switch our fuel tank. Before landing checklist, mixture full rich, fuel pump boost. Seatbelts are secure, flaps as required, autopilot will turn it off in short final. Flaps down to 100 as long as our airspeed is low enough. Yeah, we can bring that back a bit. come back on the power. Alright. Gonna disengage the autopilot here. Alright, we are hand flying the plane. Let's come down on the power. Yeah, not really well lined up, but that's okay. And we just want to keep our airspeed about 80 knots through this. So we're going to let the airplane come down. Let's go ahead and put full flaps in now. That'll help us prevent our airspeed from coming up too much. Still a little high. We don't need to worry about icing. It's sunny and it's the summer out here. Well, actually it's not summer because it's in the southern hemisphere. But it's still really warm. It's in the... We're in the tropics. Alright, we're a little off course. Whoops. Pitch for 85 knots. Keep the power out. Gonna get lined up. We're gonna have to come back in and correct just a little bit here. Add some power. And we're just gonna try to keep this descent. Airport's fairly high in elevation. Somewhere around 1700. Let's pull up just a little bit. May have just kind of gotten to a little bit of an imminent stall situation there. Oh no, that was actually... It wasn't. We had plenty of airspeed, full flaps. You know what that was? Gust of wind. A little bit of turbulence coming in. It's super smooth, you get over the water. It's just bumpy because of the terrain over here. Alright, power out. Come on. Let's keep our speed. Yeah, we're sinking a bit. Come on. Let's try to salvage this a little bit here. Alright, tell you what, we're going around. Let's come up flaps. Oh, we are in trouble. Yeah, we're in trouble. I don't know how we managed to get out of that. We are on the treetops. Oh, man. I don't know how we salvaged that. Holy cow, there's some really heavy side drafts here. The crosswinds are just insane over here.
Stall.
No, we're not stalling yet. Power out, we're gonna hit the brakes hard. I have no clue how we did not crash there on final. Alright, let's turn wide here. And we're in. So I'm gonna get parked, we're gonna shut down, I'm gonna end the stream and then start another one up and we're gonna go flying here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atuona Airport on not Fatu Hiva, Hiva Airport. Or Hiva Island. My word, I don't know what in the world was going on there. There's some just really strong crosswinds. That's a tough approach. I'm sure taking off out of here is probably a little easier. Alright. I'm not even going to do the landing checklist. Or the after landing checklist. I'm done. Let's taxi up here to the airport. Terminal building. And... Alright. We made it. Alright, set the parking brake, 1000. Fuel pump can go off. All the switches can go, and let's go ahead and throttle is idle. We'll do the cutoff for the mixture here. Magnetos are good. Alright. Let's turn the avionics off. Engine is cut. And we can go ahead and turn the batteries off and shut down the airplane and open the door. Alright folks, we made it. Although we almost didn't. But we made it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. We're going to pick back up in a few minutes with another flight. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you shortly. Take care.